Guys, you're welcome back to my channel. My name is Joy White. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please, if this is the first time you're checking on my channel, kindly hit on that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you get notified whenever I post a new video. Thank you. Okay guys, in today's video we're going to be learning how to cut and sew a simple A-line gown using this fabric. So I have like 2.5 yards of this velvet fabric. It can be called a velvet or a suede fabric. It has this lovely design on it, and it actually stretches very well. It stretches a lot. So there are tips and tricks in cutting a fabric that stretches like so. So the next thing I will do is to go ahead and fold our fabric, and we'll continue from there. Okay guys, so I folded my fabric into two. As you can see, I'm going to be cutting the front part of it. So I went ahead to draw this line here. This will serve as the shoulder line. This is going to serve as the shoulder line. So I've gone ahead to do that. So the next thing that I'm going to do is to take the shoulder measurement. So the shoulder I'm working with is 15.5 inches. 15.5. So 15.5 divided by 2, that is 7.75. So plus half inch for sewing. I'm just going to approximate it and take 8 inches. So I'm going to be using just 8 inches because this fabric is actually stretching. So 8 inches for the shoulder. So the bust I am working with is bust 40. Bust 40. So for the chest line, to get the chest line, I'm going to be using 9 inches. We already know how to get our chest line from the shoulder point. Our bust divided by 6 plus 1.5 plus 1. So I've taken 9 inches for the chest line. I will go ahead and draw a straight line like so. So after doing that, I am going to be taking the 8 inches I took for the shoulder measurement. I'm going to be taking it here. So I'll put it down and I'll go ahead and connect it. So after doing that, I am going to take the bust measurement. So I said the bust I am working with is bust 40. So 40 divided by 4 will give me 10 inches. 10 inches. So because this fabric is actually stretchy, so there's something I am going to do. I'm going to be using the exact measurement, which is the 10 inches. 10 inches. I'm not going to be adding any seam allowance to this fabric because it stretches. So when I sew, I'm going to be sewing on 1 inch or half an inch, and there will still be ease on the garment. Or another thing you can do is that you can remove 2 inches from your measurement and add 1 inch for your seam allowance. You understand what I'm saying? So you can remove 2 inches from your measurement, or you just take the exact measurement so that when you put the garment on, there's a grip on your body. So I'm going to be taking the exact measurement of the bust, and I'm not going to be adding any seam allowance to this fabric because, like I said, it stretches a lot. So you can see it stretches a lot. So I'm going to be using the exact measurement, which is 10 inches. So that is 10 inches. So the next thing I am going to do is to take the shoulder to the waist. So the shoulder to the waist I am working with is 18 inches. So I will come over here and put down in 18 inches. So the waist I am working with is 38. So 38 divided by 4, that gives me 9.5. So this is the 9.5. I will come over here and put down the 9.5 like so. So the next thing I'm going to do is to take the shoulder to the hip measurement. So the shoulder to the hip I am working with is 25 inches. 25 inches. This is 25 inches. I will come over here and put down the hip measurement. So the hip I am working with is hip 44. Hip 44. So 44 divided by 4 will give us 11 inches. So I will come over here and put down the 11 inches. I will just connect it using my free hand. So after doing that, the next thing I'm going to do is to take the full length of this gown. So the full length of this gown I am working with is 60 inches. 60 inches. So I will go ahead and take this one up. Okay guys, so the full length of this gown I'm working with, I said, is 60 inches. This is 60 inches. So I added extra 1 inch for folding allowance. So this is the line, the extra 1 inch. So that is 61 altogether. So now on the hem, what I am going to do, remember what we took for the hip was 11 inches. I said I'm taking the exact measurement. I'm not going to be adding any seam allowance to it because it actually was stretches. So now this is 11 inches for the hip measurement. So I want it to be a little bit free at the hem so that the clients will be able to walk properly. So I'm going to be adding an extra 2 inches to it just to make it what free at the hem, extra 2 inches. So that will be 13, what me taking 13 inches. So now I am going to be connecting this 13 inches to the hip measurement, to that 11 what inches I took on the hip measurement. So I'm going to connect it now. So I've connected it from the hem to the hip, and this is what we have. So now I'm going to come over to the neckline. So for the neck width, I am going to be taking 4 inches for the neck width. So for the neck depth, I'm going to be taking 4.5. This is 4.5. Then I'll go ahead and connect it using my free hand like so. Like so. So I'm going to come over here to this shoulder line to get the shoulder slope. I'm going to come down with 1 inch, like so. Then I will connect it. So after doing that, I will come over here and divide what I have. Then I'm going to come in with 0.5. I'll connect it this way. After doing that, I'm going to be connecting the armhole to meet the bust measurement. So this is it. So now I'm going to cut out this front part of this dress. So the next thing I'm going to do is to take the neck width for the back. The neck width still remains the same, 4 inches like I said for the back. So for the neck depth, I am going to be coming down with 3 inches. This dress is not going to be having a zipper at the back. It's not going to be having any zipper. So this is it. I placed it on fold, no zipper at the back. So I'll go ahead and connect it like so for the back. So now I'm going to be cutting out the back. So I will cut out the front neck depth. Let me open it up. This is the front part of this dress. This is it. And this is the back. This is the front and this is the back. So what I will do next is to use my bias. So I'm going to be using a bias to turn the neck. I'm not going to be doing facing. I'll just use the bias to turn the neck for the front and the neckline for the back. So after doing that, the next thing I'm going to do is for us to cut out the sleeve for this dress. So guys, I folded my fabric again into 2. I'm going to be cutting out the sleeve. So it's just a simple basic sleeve, just a very short sleeve. So the sleeve I am working with is 7 inches. This is 7 inches. So I'm going to be adding 1 extra inch to fold the hem, then ½ inch to join to the shoulder. So now I'm going to be taking 8.5. This is 8.5. I'll go ahead and put it down like so, 8.5. Then I will connect it. So for the sleeve cap, I'm going to come down with 4 inches. This is 4 inches, like so. So remember I said this is a stretchy fabric. The round sleeve I'm working with is 15 inches. So 15 divided by 2, that is 7.5. 7.5. I will come over here and put down the 7.5 like so. I'm just going to add, although there's no need for it, extra ½ inch, just ½ inch. Then I am going to take 8.5 here and I will connect it. So now I'm going to just use my free hand to connect it to meet these points like so. So the next thing I will do is to go ahead and cut it out. So I'm going to place it to cut out the second sleeve. Okay guys, so this is it. I've cut out the sleeve. So the next thing I'm going to do, remember I added just 1 inch for folding, so I'm going to fold 1 inch like so, run a stitch on it, then I'll come back and show you what we have done. So I've gone ahead to join the shoulder. So this is what I did before using the bias. I went ahead to join the shoulder. After joining the shoulder, I went ahead to use the bias to pipe the neckline. So this is what we have. This is the front, this is the front, and this is the back. So this is what we have. So the next thing I did is that I went ahead to fold the hem of the sleeve. Like I said, I folded the hem, this is it, and I just used 1 inch to sew on it. So this is what we have. I already have the sleeve ready, the both sleeves are ready. This is it. So the next thing I am going to do is to turn my fabric to the wrong side. Now I'm going to pin it down. I'm going to be pinning it down like so, the front and the back together. I have pinned it down to the hem. I've pinned it down. This is what we have. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to be sewing using what? 1 inch on both sides. Remember I said this is a stretchy fabric and I want it to be fitted on the body, mainly on the bust and the waist measurement. So I'm going to take 1 inch here, 1 inch on the other side. I will come over to the waist and do the same thing. 1 inch, 1 inch like so. So I'm going to connect it, take it down to the hem. I'm going to be sewing on 1 inch till I get to what? To the hem. So after doing that, I will go ahead and fix the sleeve. The sleeve is ready. So I'll fix the sleeve and fold the hem of this gown and show you what our gown look like. It's actually a very simple gown that you can make within what? 20-30 minutes you are done with it. So I will come over to the hem when I'm done joining it and fold the hem with the 1 inch that I added to this what measurement. So I'm going to fold it like so and I'll show you what our gown looks like. Okay, so here is the final look of this dress. Very simple and easy to make. I actually love the fitting of this gown. It's just exactly how I wanted it. So this particular fabric I use is by 60 inches. That's why I was able to use 2.5 yards to make this dress you are seeing here. So if you are going to be using an African print, I'm sure you'll be needing like 3 yards or 3.5 yards. And it also depends on your length, on your measurement. So guys, if you find this tutorial helpful, kindly hit on the subscribe button and turn on your notification bell so you get notified whenever I post a new video. Like and share this video, make your comment. Till our next tutorial again, we'll be doing something else. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.